Okay, we've got section 2.4. We're looking at our objective. We're on page 12 of your notes. To use the law of detachment, law of syllogism. Law of detachment. If the hypothesis of a true conditional is true, then the conclusion is true. Now, so if I'm given an original statement that I'll use as my law, if P implies Q is true, so I've got this statement, and now I have another partial statement that P is true, so it fits my hypothesis, then I can conclude the conclusion of the original statement. Then Q is true. So what that means is, what can you conclude from the given true statements? So the first part, if a student gets an A on a final exam, then the student will pass the course. Well, that's the P implies Q is true. This is the true statement. Okay, now this P is true. So Felicia got an A on her history exam. Well, P is true. Then I can conclude what's here because it fits with this statement. Okay, it fits with the statement that gets an A on her final exam, A on her history exam. Well, Felicia's going to pass the course or pass history. So that's where this comes in. Now, where it would come in, and well, let's do another one. If the light is flashing yellow, then you may drive with caution through the intersection. Well, you come up the intersection, the light's flashing yellow. What can you conclude? You should be able to conclude you may drive with caution through the intersection. Okay, that's how we use law of detachment. But this is also how we use it if it's false as well. If a rectangle has lengths of 8 centimeters and 10 centimeters, then it has an area of 80 centimeters squared. This is my statement. Now, we have a rectangle, QRST has an area of 80 centimeters. Well, that's in the conclusion. It's not in the hypothesis. So I can't conclude anything. So I didn't say false, but it's no conclusion possible with the information provided. Hey, it might be 8 by 10. Who knows? But I just know that the area is 80, so it could be 5 by 16, could be 2 times 40. I don't know. So there's no conclusion possible at this time without more information. And I haven't satisfied the hypothesis, and this hypothesis is right here. If a rectangle has lengths 8 centimeters and 10 centimeters, that needs to be satisfied in order for me to conclude this. Okay, so that's law of detachment. Law of syllogism determines a conclusion from 2 true conditional statements. When the conclusion of one statement is the hypothesis of another, so they have linking statements in there. So if P implies Q is true and Q implies R is true, notice the link, Q and Q is the same statement. Now I can skip over that and say P implies R is true. Okay. Now, what can you conclude from the given using law of syllogism? If a figure is a rectangle, then the figure has 4 right angles. If a figure has 4 right angles, please notice the link, this 4 right angle statement. Now, I'm going to knock those out, and my final conclusion, I jump over that middleman. If a figure is a rectangle, then its interior angles sum to 360 degrees is my conclusion. If a figure is a rectangle, then its interior angles sum to 360. Now, it's your turn. Give it a try in B. You are fast is what we're getting rid of. So now, if you run tech, then you will be on relays. Okay, got that made. Now I'm not saying these are true or false. I'm just saying this is how we use the law of syllogism. Now in C, if it is July, then you're on vacation. If it is Christmas, then you're on vacation. Notice that this is in the conclusion, and this is in the conclusion, and these were conclusion, hypothesis, conclusion, hypothesis. I can even flip-flop the statements and have it in hypothesis and then conclusion, but there's still a link, and I could write them. I need you to know that if there's both in the conclusion or both in the hypothesis, there's no conclusion possible. A conclusion of one statement does not appear as a hypothesis of the other. Okay, so that's the brunt of notes for 2.4. We did a puzzle, and this puzzle takes some time. I want you to recognize how we go about it. I gave an example in class as we did it, but as we go through, please keep in mind that you will be asked to complete one as part of today's assignment with your worksheet on page 13. Just complete the page 13 one and you'll be fine, and submit the others with your homework. Have yourself a great day.